Hey guys, it's your girl Samantha with Black Nation News, and today I wanted to talk about OnlyFans. So apparently OnlyFans is now shutting down their explicit content. They're not allowing basically pornography to be on their platform anymore. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This article is from CNN Business, published on Saturday, August 21st, 2021. So sex workers helped popularize OnlyFans. Now their future on the platform is uncertain. After years of working to build their audiences on OnlyFans, a number of sex workers and adult content creators are now grappling with the sudden blow of potentially losing their incomes and access to the fans who have paid their bills. OnlyFans is a subscription-based website that enables creators to get paid for posting videos and photos for fans, said Thursday that it planned to ban content containing sexually explicit conduct in October, while still allowing nudity consistent with its quote-unquote acceptable use policy. In a statement, the company attributed the changes to a need to ensure the long-term sustainability of the platform. These changes are to comply with the request of our banking partners and payout providers, it added. So apparently it seems like, I don't know if OnlyFans is going public. I'll research that in a second. So, as promised, I did do a little bit of research and found out public. So they said OnlyFans IPO, is it going public following explicit content ban? This is published August 20th, 2021, pretty much a few days ago. So, it's saying here that OnlyFans, a content subscription service, is witnessing an explosion of curiosity around its plans to go public. The platform, known to draw users who pay money to receive content from celebrities and adult film stars, recently announced an upcoming ban on all sexually explicit content. This move, which is set to be implemented in October 2021, has paved the way for speculations that OnlyFans is cleaning up its platform in preparation for an initial public offering, or IPO, in the near future. So what is OnlyFans and what does it focus on? OnlyFans launched in September 2016. That's crazy. The way it's grown and people talk about it, I really thought it had been around a little bit longer than that, but it's quite shocking. So OnlyFans works similarly to the way membership platform Patreon does, offers creators a platform to broadcast their content in exchange of 20% for their earnings. Launched in September 2016 and primarily known for adult entertainment, OnlyFans focuses on other gated content as well. Its list of artists has included big names such as boxer Floyd Mayweather, singer-cum-rapper Cardi B, Hollywood actor, there's a singer-cum-rapper? More like stripper-cum-rapper. What are they talking about? Hollywood actor Bella Thorne, who reportedly raked in more than $1 million on her first day on the platform. Rumors about an IPO were also fueled after OnlyFans launched streaming platform OFTV on Wednesday, August 17th. It is said to be free of any sexually explicit content, as it is a requirement for iOS and Google Play apps, and focuses on genres such as fitness, culinary, humor, etc. Is OnlyFans going public via IPO? I don't even think OnlyFans is in America, is it? I thought it was based in England or the UK. So speculations have been rife about OnlyFans seeking major investments, but despite a significant user base and sales figures, it is said to have been facing hurdles in garnering sufficient investor attention. This could have triggered the recent ban on adult content to draw in more venture capitalists. Some reports also point that OnlyFans was under pressure from financial partners to make such changes to its platform. The membership-based service provider is said to be looking for enough funding that will pull up the company's valuation to about $1 billion. The United Kingdom-based company reportedly raked in sales worth over $2 billion in 2020, benefiting largely amid the pandemic-driven lockdowns that saw many online enterprises flourish. OnlyFans is said to have recorded a top-line growth of some 553% year-over-year to $390 million in the 12 months ending November 2020, while its profits amounted to about $74 million. For the same period, its daily active user base reportedly rose to about 120 million users. While the rumors are on fire, OnlyFans has not made any announcements pertaining to its IPO plans, but if it happens, it could be a significant public debit to watch out for. Bottom line, unlike most social media platforms, OnlyFans does not feature advertisements on the site, which some believe is due to its adult entertainment content. But now that the company is set to leave that part of it behind, there is a possibility that it will be seeking ads as well. In that case, OnlyFans revenues could add on its 20% commission model and go further up in the future. As of now, interested investors may have to wait a while to hear about OnlyFans IPO plans. So there you go. It's like it's in the talks. It's speculation. They're not. I don't know if they're in the OnlyFans. The company is actually in the talks, but it's definitely speculation now that they're trying to seem like they're trying to clean up their platform a little bit. So there you go. But it seems like their shareholders and their investors are not very. The OnlyFans investors and shareholders are not very happy with being associated with just OnlyFans being known for like is pornographic content. So apparently they have to, OnlyFans I guess felt like they had to ban the pornographic content, but they're still I guess allowing nudity. They claim there's some level of nudity they're still allowing based on their policies, but the pornographic stuff is just completely banned. So let me keep reading and then I'll offer my commentary in a second. So it says, for some, the move was perplexing. Founded in 2016, the UK-based startup is best known as a platform for sharing and viewing pornographic content. It is with this reputation that it has scaled rapidly in recent years. Yeah, because sex sells. So, because I also, I want to say this on the side note. I think it's funny because I have like a lot of guys who are like, a lot of women, females are crying and they're milk now, or they're, women are just so upset because OnlyFans is not allowing them to take their clothes off and get paid for it anymore. And I'm just like, who was paying to watch them take their clothes off though? Like the double standard and the hypocrisy is real. I can't deal with double standards. It's like if you're going to be mad at women for taking their clothes off publicly and even getting paid for it, then don't pay for it. Like, don't be on there watching and paying for it and then hating on them for doing something. It's almost like the males are like mad at the women for allowing them to be tempted. It kind of reminds me when I was in school and the girls used to get in trouble for like wearing certain things because they would be like, well, the boys can't pay attention, you're a distraction. And I always thought, even then, as a girl, as a teenager or whatever, like, I thought that's dumb. Like, why? That you're basically giving guys the pass and you're treating them like they're such victims and they're just so unable to control their urges, their sexual urges or anything. And then we wonder why women are just always getting raped. And I think it's because we breed this culture that, it's on the woman to keep herself safe, but we don't really focus on boys and men telling them you shouldn't be doing this and that to women. You shouldn't be, or girls as well. You shouldn't be sexually assaulting girls and women. You don't have a right. It doesn't matter if they're walking naked down the street. You don't have a right to touch them. That's their body. It's not yours. You didn't give birth to them. You didn't create that body. Nothing. You don't own it. It has nothing to do with you. So, and then, yeah, I just thought it's interesting that guys are like kind of constantly like commenting on that, but there's never a shortage of viewers for these women who like to take their clothes off and do sexual acts for the public, so it's like I just, and it's also, I just think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. I was going to say something else besides the school example, because there's examples for adults as well, but I just feel like men love to see women naked, but then they complain about it at the same time. It's really strange to me. And they pay for it. They pay for sex, these males. They pay for strip clubs. They pay to see these women online taking their clothes off and, partaking in sexual activity with others. But then they turn around. Oh, yeah, it reminds me of that case with the white male that, like, shot up all those, like, Asian quote-unquote nail salons, but they were really, like, brothels or, like, hidden sex. What do you call it? I don't even know what it's called. It was like hidden sex. Hold on. It was like hidden sex something. I forget what the word is called, but it's, basically like, how they work the sex, the massage parlors in the back of the nail parlor, or they give the quote unquote happy ending. And I've seen, I mean, you really can like get lost in all those news stories of just federal stings that have occurred with Asian nail salons and beauty salons. Whatever salons they're opening, they're always kind of running this background sexual, like illegal sexual activity operation. And I just think that's interesting because people always like to like attach negative stereotypes to black people, and especially black women. Like anything we do, it's like we are just overly criticized. But when that white guy shot up the Asians, one, they tried to make it seem like it was stop Asian hate. It's like, no, he specifically said it wasn't a hate crime. He shot up the women because he was like, I'm mad because they're tempting me to come in here and have sex with them, and I feel guilty about that. I don't like that I'm so attracted to these Asian women. And so he just shot up all these parlors, these Asian businesses, like these Asian beauty parlors or nail salons, and or massage parlors. And then it was just so many like levels that was wrong with that whole story. It's like, first they're trying to blame black people, saying we're committing these Asian hate crimes. I'm like, give me a break. It's just like it's like laughable. Like, I'm like, why do we even have to have this discussion in 2021 while we're still waiting for our reparations check? We've received nothing as black Americans, and we're now the ones that are being accused of causing hate crimes. And when the hate crimes are at a highest level occur to African Americans. So miss me with the bullshit. And then you have, that was one issue, them deflecting, trying to make everything that ever happened to Asian people in that time frame like being a hate crime. Because now you don't hear anything else about it. You don't hear anything about it. They passed their little bill. They got what they wanted. They got some money. And then the Asians just disappeared. And meanwhile, black people are still fighting to just be allowed to be human in this country. And so that, I don't want to get too far off topic, but that just really is an issue. Like how I just keep seeing like a lot of like guys speaking out more about women taking their clothes off on social media, but I constantly just respond back with, they wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't an audience for it. And that's just the reality of it. There's always been an audience for women to be sexual objects, sex objects, like in movies and commercials, on OnlyFans and Pornhub, you name it. Even before then, it was concubines, it was harems, it was I've got 50 wives, I'm a polygamist. What is that other one called, a bigamy, when it's like you're doing it but it's not even legal, but you're doing it. So like marrying multiple women or multiple people. So it's just crazy. It's like the hypocrisy to me is like unreal. It's very narcissistic for you to be able to try to you think you can call out, like sit on your high horse, act like you're better than everybody, and call out what women are doing when they're taking their clothes off, but or even girls. But then that's you showing as a male that's what you value, is our sexual prowess. Like you don't value our brains. You don't value how smart we are, how funny we are, how well we cook. You don't value those things. And so those are not the things women and girls focus on. Everybody's going to focus on what they need to focus on to attract that gender that they want to be with. That's so obvious. Like, I'm so tired of how dumbed down our community is. And you have to and I mean like the entire society, not the black community, but like the entire society of America. This country is so dumbed down, and there's so many I really want to write an article. I just feel like America is breeding a nation of narcissists. It's just like everybody just has these really problematic narcissistic traits, and it's bothersome. It's really a problem. So let me go ahead and continue reading. So they said OnlyFans grew rapidly in recent years. They have paid overall so far. OnlyFans has paid out $5 billion to more than 1.5 million creators, including Cardi B and Bella Thorne. So apparently Cardi B's on there taking her clothes off. Why am I not surprised? So and then it counts 100, and plus they have 150 million users according to his website, which I'm not on there. You know, I don't have a TikTok. I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't have a Snapchat. It's just like some stuff is just too much of it. It's too much. It's too much. Like a lot of the news I get it from YouTube. I watch, I follow other people. I usually just get my news articles from my Google News feed and so on and so forth. I literally had no clue what OnlyFans was. I just kept hearing about it in this one song with Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce. And so I finally watched a documentary on it, and then I researched the website a little bit, but I definitely didn't go in and pay to see anyone take their clothes off. So sex workers and adult content creators, however, say they weren't exactly surprised by the shift that will fundamentally alter how they and others use the platform. Anger and disappointment, yes. Where would you be without the people who gave you your popularity? One content creator who goes by Bria Backwoods said of the announcement. Okay, that name is like kind of funny, but okay. So without us, I think it will die down. So let me see. The print got like really small. That's kind of weird. So, but as one OnlyFans creator who goes by the name of Siri Doll explained to CNN Business, there's been some form of rumor and or panic about OnlyFans kicking sex workers off the platform on a pretty regular basis for the last year. Excuse me. Doll, who has worked in the adult film industry, says she joined OnlyFans in late 2019 and that by early 2020, the site had become her primary income. Fast forward to earlier this year, Doll says she was able to buy her first home with the money she'd made on OnlyFans. So I'm pretty sure women were not funding her. I'm sorry, we're just not. Those are guys giving her enough money to buy a freaking house. So although there are a host of other sites and services, and you know, as a woman, you're looking at this and you thinking to yourself, like, maybe I'm in the wrong career field. You know, like I'm not making enough to be just dropping money on a house in like 1 year. I've made enough money to do that. So, you know, for guys that cry about this, like, they piss me off, because I'm like, you can't tell me you don't spend money to have sex with women. You don't spend money to see women take their clothes off at strip clubs. You don't spend money to see women having sex on these pornographic websites. Like, I know you do. I know you spend money for all of these things, and then you want to talk to women like me, who's actually a good woman, who, and I'm not saying they're not good. You know, everyone's an adult. Honestly, I don't think that sex working and prostitution should even be illegal. I mean, you're a grown person. You can do what you want. But, you know, I just feel like they're always trying to criminalize something, and it's just like, this is stupid. People have sex. That's what they do. And if you want to pay to have sex, you can do what you want. I just don't get that. But anyways, you know, but like I'm saying, like when I say good girl, I mean, like, you know, like someone who just isn't out there taking your clothes off for everyone to see. I'm not sharing my body, showing off my body to everyone and their mama. It's only for my man or private, you know, just in my bedroom, whatever. But like for women like me who still, you know, like struggling, I'm a single mom. I have to work harder to save up money to buy a house, you know. Don't you know, we don't want to hear you blabbing, but you like, I feel like guys are like trying to have their cake and eat it too. It's like, we want you to not be able to take your clothes off and make easy money off of us, but at the same time, we want to have easy access to you. We want to have easy access to your body without working for a relationship to get to sleep with you. And that's what it really comes down to. Guys are selfish. They're being narcissistic because they're very hypocritical in what they're saying. They're always saying something different. It's like, you say one thing, but you're doing something else. Practice what you preach. And until I see the majority of guys doing that, I really don't want to hear anything you have to say about women. You know, worry about yourself. Worry about your brothers, the young boys that are coming up. Be a mentor to them. Like, step your game up and walk like what you're talking. Do that walk. Like, don't just be sitting here saying what women should be doing and girls should be doing, but you're still taking if your boy called you today and said, hey, we get some strippers in Vegas, let's go, I'll pay for everything, you're going to be on that plane. You're going to be on that plane faster than I can say hello. So I'm over it. Like, if you want things to change, I'm sorry. I'm sick of everybody not having to live to the same standards that someone like me is living up to. I'm a mother. I'm not on anywhere taking my clothes off. I'm trying to be a good mother, a good woman, a good sister, daughter. If I had a partner, it would be a good, good wife, a good girlfriend, whatever. But it's like, no, there's not fair to have a double standard where I had to live up to these high ass standards while the guy I'm possibly with is running out to strip clubs or paying to see girls on OnlyFans, like spending money, especially if we were together, our money to see girls on OnlyFans. But I'm supposed to be like just this prim, proper little woman in the kitchen, making like no money of my own because I'm not on OnlyFans. Like, no, miss me with the bullshit. Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If one person can do it, the other person can do it on the other side. That's how you're always going to look at it, period. I'm not going to ever succumb to double standards like that. Like, I'm just not going to do it. If you want women to stop taking their clothes off, stop paying them to do it. So, although there are a host of other sites and services, including several that don't also post content to, OnlyFans has a simple, easy-to-use interface, a reasonable revenue share, the site collects 20%, and a buzz factor. The simple fact, in my experience, is that no other platform has a level of traffic that OnlyFans has come to have, especially during the pandemic. Look at that. Like, it's extremely popular. People just can't get off of OnlyFans. It's probably because Beyonce's singing about it, and yeah, everybody, their mama just follows, like, hook, line, and sinker. Whatever celebrities talk about, everyone just follows like sheep. That's just what they do. They just follow along like some quiet sheep. They can't think for themselves. They don't have the self-control to say, that's not good, I'm not going to do that. Everyone just follows along. Men and women, girls and boys. Dahl said, so it went on absolutely hog wild during the pandemic. Yeah, apparently it did, and because she bought a whole house. So, off of just OnlyFans. So looking back, Dahl said there were specific inflection points that had creators worried recently about the future of the platform for those in her industry. First, in December 2020, when MasterCard, Visa, and Discover blocked customers from using their credit cards to make payments on Pornhub after a New York Times column earlier that month reported on videos of alleged child abuse and non-consensual acts on the platform. The move put the spotlight on the contentious relationship between payment processors and pornographic websites. Then news surfaced that OnlyFans was seeking financing from investors at a $1 billion valuation, but venture capital firms are often wary of associating with adult content. Another creator who goes by the name of Maya Morena says she joined OnlyFans about 4 years ago and worked incredibly hard to build up a fan base on the platform. She says she was able to transition from doing full service sex work, meeting clients in person, to her earnings from OnlyFans supporting her. So she basically moved from physically having to meet clients, which I think is good. I feel like that's allowing women to be safer. So she was able to switch from having to meet clients in person than to just strictly just being online. And I actually think that's a lot better for women. And I'm really not overly concerned. Like, it didn't really make a difference when I heard that OnlyFans is going to stop, sexual content being displayed on their platform, because I feel like there's going to be another OnlyFans somewhere else just waiting in the wings. There's probably already one that's been created and people are already quietly starting to use it, and it's just going to take off, and of course we already have the porn hubs of the world and YouPorns, etc. So people are going to just go on to the next site. Sex sells. It will not stop selling. It just isn't going to stop. So guys telling women what we need to be doing with our bodies, the people that's going to change that will be guys. You're the ones who's going to have to change that. When you stop having this healthy appetite for sex and lust, then that's when women will keep their clothes on, because they won't They just won't see a point in taking them off. When you're not getting attention anymore, why are you going to be taking your clothes off still? Because like I said, I really don't feel like a lot of women, I said this in a previous video, I don't feel like a lot of women want to be taking their clothes off. I don't feel like a lot of women want to be having sex with random people, especially on video camera to show the public, look at my whole body. I just don't think that that's a natural thing. And so I think women are doing what they have to do, and that's why I don't knock them for so many reasons. One, because they're adults. Two, because if that's how you have to make your money, that's what you need to do. Do you. Like, as long as you can pay your bills and you're taking care of you, how can people be mad at that? People are mad if you go on welfare. They're mad if you having sex and trying to pay your bills that way. Like, stay out of people's business. If you're not paying their bills, don't worry about what they're doing. And so I feel like if males were being real men and actually marrying women and being providers like they're supposed to be, and not being addicted to sex and addicted to half naked women or naked women that aren't your wife, then I think a lot of this stuff would just not even have a market for it. It's going to keep having a market as long as Bill and Tyrone and Habib and Shangguang all want to see women naked and having sex with others. That's as long as there's those guys that they come in the millions and billions. As long as they're there with their dollars in hand, waiting to pay for this explicit activity, then there's going to always be a woman to do it. She's going to be taking the clothes off. Here you go. Look at my boobs. It's just as simple as that. And it's like if you literally as a guy, and I know I'm talking in circles, but I really feel like guys are not going to listen because they're narcissists. A lot of them are narcissists. So I feel like if you're a guy and you know damn well in the last month you paid to see a woman have some sex or take her clothes off, don't talk about it ever again on your platform because you're full of crap. You're full of crap. You're part of the problem that you are trying to fix. If you don't want to see women taking their clothes off every time you look around, then stop looking at it. Stop being pressed to see it. Stop buying the magazines. Stop buying the pay-per-view channels. I know that's like from the 90s. Stop going on Pornhub or whatever and becoming a member. Stop going to strip clubs. Stop going to OnlyFans. Like, I don't do any of those things as a woman. I don't do any of those things. So if I'm not doing them, you cannot do them too. But of course, guys want to act like victims over and over when it comes to sex. They're grown-ass men, but they want to constantly act like they just have no self-control over anything when it comes to sex. Grow up. Grow up. You have the self-control. Do what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, shut up. If you don't want to change who you like, how you're acting when it comes to women and treating women like sexual objects and like we're just these playthings or we're just created for your sexual desires. If you don't want to change that about yourself and you think you're entitled to see women with just naked and all kinds of women, you think you're entitled, you don't need to get married, you can be a single bachelor guy just floating about, you better not ever make a video and let me find out differently about you, because I will put you completely on blast. Period. I'm so over it. So during COVID, I just stopped full service work completely because it became too dangerous. Miranda said, adding that this was the best month I've had on OnlyFans and now it is basically ruined. She could just go to another website. Listen, Miranda said that while she's frustrated and angry, she's also gone through this before, having previously used service such as Backpage.com, the classified ads website that was shut down in 2018. Craigslist, which shut down its personal sections that same year, and Tumblr, which banned pornography at the end of that year. I did not know Tumblr allowed pornography, so that's news to me. I have heard of Backpage.com and Craigslist. Oh my gosh, Craigslist. Ever since that Craigslist killer, I will not do anything on Craigslist. It's absolutely terrifying to me. So every time I lose platforms, I lose a significant amount of money, but also my connection to my follower base, and I lose so much of my work. I wonder why she won't just get her own website. Build a website. While you're having these followers, instead of having to constantly start over, have your own website to do these things. Maybe that would be helpful to not just lose all your work. Every time somebody should, you're basically making yourself vulnerable to other businesses or whatever. And it's if you're in this type of risque type business, then maybe you want to just own your own, just have your own website, and it's you meet people, get their email, have them link to that website somehow, So said Marina, who added that she had planned to eventually leave the industry, but didn't intend to this soon. So it is not easy to leave the industry. Usually an exit plan takes several years. She said, noting that she's enrolled in college and has rent to pay. She said that although she'll likely soon start looking for jobs, it can be challenging to get hired with an easily discoverable online presence of this nature. And ladies, I mean, even with guys, that's some of the things you got to think about when you go into these types of fields. You got to think about how's that going to transfer over when I'm like too old and people maybe don't want to see my stuff, or maybe I've outgrown it, or I'm a mom now, or I'm a grandma now, and I just don't feel like I want to do these things anymore. Like, you have to think about the long game, like I was just telling my son yesterday, I always like to think 10 years out. So, whenever I make decisions, I'm always planning very far ahead. It's never just like, live for the moment, carpe diem. Like, rarely am I doing that. I pretty much am always moving very strategically through my day and through my life, because mainly because I have children depending on me. I have 5 human beings depending on me to get it right, and it's a lot of pressure. And it's not like bad pressure. It's kind of like good motivation. To me, it motivates me to be better every day, to get better, to do better than I did the day before. And so I'm only in competition with myself, but that also means I have to be like holding myself to this much higher standard, because I know that I have 5 little people looking up at me, like looking up to me. Of course, 2 of them are like taller than me now, but you guys get what I'm saying. They're younger. They're looking up to their elders, which is mommy and grandparents and stuff like that. So, I know I have to live by example, have them follow my example. And so that means there's just a lot of things I can't take part in, And then when I think about their future, and even if it was just me, when I was thinking about just my future when I was in school, I used to plan so far out. And I would think about the consequences of things, like if I were to be a stripper, how would that affect my son's life? How would that affect my life in the future? As far as getting jobs, or just walking down the street. Are you going to have some guys, you're just living a more riskier life now because people are going to recognize you, and guys just act like they can't control their penises, and their lust. So, it's just a lot that comes with being an adult. Whether you're a woman or a man. I'm not just putting this on women. Even with males, because of course if they rape, they're going to jail. So, it's like everybody has these consequences they have to think about. Everyone has to think about the end game. Like, what's the long-term goal here? What do you want to see yourself doing in 5 years, 10 years? And if decisions you're making today will not coincide with your future, then maybe you shouldn't be making those choices. Maybe you should try to find a different avenue. And yes, it may mean that you're not going to make millions of dollars in 1 month, but that's the trade-off, So, although the initial announcement left some questions about what content would be considered sexually explicit and how the policy would be enforced, OnlyFans, in an email to creators Friday, made this clearer, sending a link to its new acceptable use policy, which details more specifics. The company said in the email that quote-unquote existing content that does not meet the standards of the new policy will need to be removed before December 1st, 2021. So they have an existing policy, which they didn't go into detail, but there's like a link right here on this website that I'll put the link below if you guys want to check it out. So Miranda says she feels a change with me having to be like Instagram models, like a Disney kind of sexiness. That's what I'm envisioning this would be like. She said, do I want to become more sanitized, or am I just going to find a different platform where I can make the same content? Is it possible for her to make the same content or post videos? I mean, she said, I think, can you do it all at once? Like maybe post some explicit stuff over here and then edit it a bit and put the other stuff over there. So Beckwith, who said OnlyFans has been her main source of income since shortly after she joined the platform in 2018, said her current strategy is to build up her email subscriber list so she can take fans with her wherever she lands next. And I think that's a good idea. And so you got to think as a business person, So I think things come to an end, and it has been a good run. I don't think we'll be on OnlyFans for much longer, she said. A lot of guys on the internet, trolls or whatever, are making fun of the news, but they don't understand that this is people's literal livelihood. People are making six figures and paying federal income taxes off this money. Doll said that come to October, I will be offering my explicit content elsewhere, while noting that she plans to keep her OnlyFans account active. It will just become like a slightly more risque Instagram account, she said. And guys will still pay for it. I think even my sons now, like girls barely taking off anything, and they're getting like, I think my son heard about it in the news. This girl got like so much money because she was like, she was a rapper. She had just turned like 18, and he said that she made like $2 million in like a week. But I think he was saying like before she turned 18, she wasn't really showing much, but guys still paid to see her. So she says she's in one of the more privileged setups, given that she has hundreds of thousands of Instagram and Twitter followers, a subreddit of fans, and more. But the change still could be insanely challenging for her. Even Twitter allows explicit content as long as you have your account set up that it is flagged as sensitive content, Doll said. It would be weird to live in a world where Twitter is more sex worker friendly than OnlyFans. And there you go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until I see you guys again, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, love, and light. Make sure to wear your mask when you go out, or especially like if you're indoors in public, like in restaurants, well, probably not a restaurant, but like Walmart, so on and so forth. Also, I was telling people, if you want to get vaccinated, do the Pfizer vaccine. I've heard it probably has the least amount of side effects, but of course, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, so you want to definitely contact your doctor to get further details of the 3 vaccines that are available. It's Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, which Johnson & Johnson seems to just be riddled with issues, but it only has one shot, so that's why a lot of people tend to choose that one. And also I think it's also just depending on what is available in your area. So just stay safe, guys. For your babies too, I worry about the babies going back to school. It is quite the concern. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys later, and I will definitely be posting another video soon because I just have like a backlog of stories that I wanted to cover. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.